it's Abby, and today I wanted to talk about how I organize my morning, otherwise known as my morning routine. I think morning routines are so important because they're made up of habits, and habits are what we fall back on. It's what we default to. So if we have good habits in our morning routine, it sets us up for success for the rest of the day. So I am not naturally a morning person. It can be hard for me to get out of bed in the morning. So I've had to come up with ways to kind of trick myself to get out of bed quickly. The first thing I do to help with that is to plug in my phone somewhere other than right beside my bed on my nightstand. So sometimes I'll plug it in my office, sometimes I'll plug it in just across our bedroom, just so it's not right next to me when I wake up, so I'm not tempted to grab it and just scroll on my phone. The second thing that I do to help me get out of bed in the morning is I found an alarm that works really well for me. I have an alarm clock that I really love. I will link to it in the description below. That it wakes me up with the sound of waves, so that's nice and soothing. It also, a half an hour before my alarm is set to go off, it has this ring of light that turns on and it starts dim and it gets brighter and brighter. So it sort of mimics the sun and wakes me up gradually so that when my alarm goes off, I can just get right out of bed. Once I'm up out of bed, I put on my workout clothes and I head into my office. Once I get into my office, I want to start my day in a positive way by getting my focus in the right place. So for me, that means pulling out my Bible and reading that a little bit, and I also will get out my journal and write for a little while in there. Next, I like to do a short workout. I do it right in my office. I usually pull up Beachbody On Demand on my computer, and some of my favorite programs are Turbo Fire or the 21-Day Fix, or sometimes if the boys want to work out with me, we do a workout called Double Time that's meant for parents and kids to do together. If I'm doing a workout that I'm really familiar with, I will listen to an audiobook or a podcast while I'm working out. Some of my favorite podcasts that I'm listening to right now are the Young House Love podcast. I also love the Food Blogger Pro podcast. And currently I am listening on Audible to the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But I would love some more podcasts and books to add to my list. So if you have some favorites, make sure you leave them for me in the comments below. After I'm finished with my workout, I head downstairs for breakfast. I get breakfast for my boys and for myself. I'm a creature of habit, so I usually have the same thing every day. I like to have a shake. Typically, I just do water, ice, half a banana, and Shakeology, and that keeps me good for most of the morning. One thing that I think is really helpful when I'm trying to start a new habit is to attach the new habit to an existing habit that I already have. So for example, one of the habits I was trying to start was to remember to take my vitamins every day. Since I was already making my shake and having that for breakfast each morning, that was already a habit, I started taking my vitamins at the same time as I made my shake. So making the shake served as a reminder to take my vitamins. I had them right there, and it helped me establish that new habit more quickly than if I just tried to start from scratch. After breakfast, I head upstairs to shower and get ready for my day. I like to have all the tools I use to get ready really neat and organized. I'm still loving the makeup station that I set up in a previous video. I'll link to that below. It really helps me to get ready more quickly in the morning and get out the door. The last thing I do before I take my boys to the bus stop is I try to make my bed each day. I just feel like it starts the day on a good note, and it only takes a minute or two to do. Once I've gotten the boys off to school, I come home, I come up to my office and I pull out my planner. I use my Intentional Life Planner. It's one that I designed myself. I will link to it in the description below if you want to take a look at it. I have already, the night before, listed out my to-do list for the day, and I even use time blocking, which is assigning my tasks to a specific time of day, so I know exactly what I need to do during the day. I can do an evening routine video that talks a little bit more about that process. But I already know everything I need to do. I get jump started on my work, and then I'm off and running for the day. So that is my ideal morning routine. Sometimes things get a little crazy around here. It doesn't work out exactly how I have planned, and that's okay. I just give myself grace and wake up the next day and try it again. You know what, my routine is always evolving and changing too. As my kids get older, as our lives change a little bit, I'll change the routine to go along with it. So I would love to hear about your morning routine. What is the one thing that you have to make sure you do every morning before you head out the door? Let me know in the comments below.